Hello, friends. Thank you so much for serving on this Sunday, September 25th, 2022, in the Oaks Kids kindergarten through 5th grade classrooms. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of today's lesson. Given that it is September, we have moved into a few new things. So if you haven't had a chance to serve this month, then you have not seen some of the new things that are going on in our classroom. So I want to walk you through some of those things so you know what to expect. At the beginning, things are the same. You should arrive sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. Go to the check-in room to pray with the children's ministry team before you come back to the classroom. When you're in the classroom, you can choose center activity choices or allow the students to choose those as they begin to arrive. And you can play music on our YouTube playlist on the Bluetooth speaker or play a CD. Now, as they arrive at 9:45, this is where there's going to be something a little bit different. We will be doing some of our time doing worship when we return from our memory verse. So as they're arriving, one of the teachers in the class should be going over to set up the TV for that worship time. I'm going to fast forward down here. You have two choices of songs. You could do both, or you might just choose one since it might take a minute to type in these songs on YouTube. Unfortunately, because we're doing the ones that are considered kids videos because they have the song as well as the motions, it will not allow us to save it to our YouTube playlist. So I think that as the students are arriving, one teacher should be turning on the TV, finding the YouTube app, and looking up either Waymaker with motions or Every Move I Make with motions. The students have done Every Move I Make twice, so they'll be familiar with that, but Waymaker will be new to them. So as one teacher does that, another teacher should be taking attendance as they arrive in the white binder by the door. Make sure to check mark their name as they arrive. And then at 10:05, hopefully everyone has arrived and we begin cleaning up the centers and moving onto the carpet. Please do make sure that they are cleaning up the center entirely. They should not be leaving anything on the floor and working as a team to get that cleaned up. So at 10:05-ish, you're going to move all the students to the carpet, all of the students, kindergartners through 5th graders, to practice the memory verse multiple times before going down to do it in the sanctuary. So our verse for this month is Isaiah 61, 3b. So have them practice that verse together multiple times. They can take the verse down off the wall to take with you when you go to the sanctuary. At around 10:15, 10:20-ish, you will be notified either by text from me or by someone coming to you. That could either be me or Miss Kristen to let you know that it is time to line the students up and walk them down to the sanctuary entrance. You will enter on the right as they are doing the passing of the peace. So once you hear them say it is time to greet one another, that is when you're going to walk the kids up to the front of the sanctuary, hopefully be able to get them all, down the front to do the verse together. There may or may not be a short children's message, so be prepared either way. They'll do the verse. If there's a children's message, they will sit and listen to that. But if either way, whether that happens or not, when they exit, they will return back to the classroom. At this point, this is when we're going to do our worship time, so around 10:35 or so. There is a spot in between the two classrooms where there's an open area with a TV. Hopefully the song will already have been set up by a teacher earlier before you did the memory verse. To do one of those songs, and all the students will do them together. I do want them to stand for this. They can sing along, they can sing and do motions, they can just do motions, but I ask that they are being respectful and kind of enjoying that music to worship our God. And then after the song is when they will exit the classroom to begin their separate lessons in the two separate classrooms. But before I move into that part, I am going to show you how to work the TV. Okay, so when you arrive, the remote should be on that shelf by the TV, and you're just going to press the power button. I try to be kind of close because sometimes it doesn't read it if you're too far away, and it does take a moment for it to turn on. So it's starting to turn on. Now here, these are your arrow buttons, and you're going to scroll down to where the app list is. Scroll down, and I'm going to go over now until I get to YouTube. Sorry, it's slipping out of my hand. All right, there's YouTube. So I'm going to press the center OK button, and this will take me to YouTube. I'm just going to choose the NPL with 5 zeros account. I'm going to go over to the left, search up. Oh, if you see it says recommended, every move I make, dance along. That is one that they've already done. So if you wanted to do that one, you could. Or you can go over to search and you're going to just type in Waymaker. So go over and hopefully, and you want to choose not just Waymaker, but a Waymaker with motions. I'm going to go over because I see Waymaker is already a choice. I'm going to see if one with motions is at the front. There we go. Waymaker short kids worship with motions, and I just press the OK. And then if I want to pause it, I just press the OK button twice. And that pauses it. If you need to fast forward, press the right arrow. If you need to rewind, press the left arrow. And again, you just press play. And when you're done, you can just turn the TV off and put the remote back on that shelf. Make sure the kids know they are not to touch the TV or the remote. Also, while the kids are on the carpet, this would be a good time to count up the laundry pods that were collected this week. We have a running total on the board that they are over 400 at this point. So whatever is turned in that bucket by the door, add that to that 400 number to see where we are at for this week. Our goal is 1,000, and this is supposed to be the last Sunday, but let them know that they can bring them in next Sunday as well if they would like, because next Sunday is when we will be packaging them up for our food pantry. Now, moving back into the lesson. So this lesson for this week is, it's right there. Okay, here we go. Also, before we do the lesson, as soon as we've switched classrooms, we're going to begin with our prayer. So they're going to share prayer requests like we do every week, record them in that purple prayer request book, and then do the Lord's Prayer together, which is displayed in both classrooms. If you're in K-2, I recommend doing the prayer part at their desks so that they can see the Lord's Prayer on the door. After prayer, then we move into our Bible story. It is on the 1 Corinthians, the love verses. So they're going to read it in the Gospel Story Bible on pages 264 and 265, and then also locate it in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13. If you are in the 3rd through 5th grade classroom, they should be looking this up in their Bibles, either independently or with a partner or a group of 3, and reading it together before reading it. Hearing it read by the teacher. If you are in K-2, they should be locating it with a partner, but then listening to the teacher read it to them. And then go over those questions. And now the follow-up craft is the same for both groups this week. So the craft for this week is just to start working on some love notes for those Tide Pods that we're going to be giving to our friends at the food pantry. So I've included some very small, I've cut up some cards and some cardstock. They are very small so that they can fit into the baggies that we're going to put these laundry pods into. And they should be writing like a little note to the people that will be receiving it. So as a group in both classrooms, come up with some sayings that are helpful, like God loves you, or we care about you, just things that are kind that would make them smile when they open their baggie with their Tide Pods that also have this little note. So that's it. They're going to work on that. They will get a chance to work on these more on that first week of October as well when we baggie up the Tide Pods. So this is a chance for them to get a head start on that, because the hope is that we will have 500 baggies. So we're going to try and get as many notes as we can, which means they can make as many notes as we can. Make sure they're doing a good job, taking their time, writing things that are kind. And then, yeah, that's it. So if you're in K-2 and even in 3rd through 5th, I recommend writing whatever suggestions, kind of guidance you're giving the kids for what they can write on there on the dry erase board so that they can copy it if they need to. And yeah, I believe that's it. So at the end, when they are dismissed, you're going to greet parents at the door and collect stickers from the child and from their adult. Make sure that those stickers go on the sticker ball, which is getting really big. And then we're going to highlight their names as they're picked up. And the new thing too, as well, is that the students need to sit in the worship area until their name is called for dismissal. This will hopefully keep them busy until they are called. You can play the worship music songs on YouTube, or if you want to search for a 1 Corinthians cartoon on there as well, that would be fine as well. But yeah, so that is it for this Sunday. And thank you guys so much for serving. I will be here this Sunday. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime, text or in person or anything. So thank you guys so much for serving. We'll see you on Sunday.